Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use, tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, this is from the Los Angeles Times. Very old article. But I just want to bring up the 33 again, because everybody tries to make fun of me and other people that put the gematria together, but it's a real thing. Go check out Zachary K. Hubbard, and he will tell you what is the 47. Scientologists sue 17 IRS officials. Church. The lawsuit accuses them of waging a 33-year campaign against the organization and a large number of its members. It seeks $120 million. By Henry Weinstein, what an interesting name, August 13th, 1991. The Church of Scientology International filed a $120 million federal lawsuit. You guys have to ask yourself, how is it possible that any organization could try to bully up the government? Against 17 Washington and Los Angeles-based Internal Revenue Service officials. As you all know, if any of us everyday folks out here tried to do something like that, we'd probably be put in prison for 10 years or more for some trumped up charges. Monday, accusing them of waging a 33-year campaign of illegal acts against Scientology. Can you believe this? And a large number of its members. According to the suit filed in U.S. District Court in Los Angeles, documents obtained under the Freedom of Information Act, is that actually a real thing? And testimony from IRS officials detail a lengthy history and unchanging pattern of improper, harassing, and illegal activities against the church by IRS officials. Can you believe this? The IRS agents were being harassed nonstop. Among those sued are IRS agents. I personally don't know how that's legal, but who in the mid-1980s conducted a criminal tax investigation against Scientology. Yeah, Scientology, the biggest criminal organization in the world. Founder L. Ron Hubbard, black-toothed, greasy-haired, convicted felon, whose death in 1986 reportedly ended the probe. There's that probe again. The suit alleges that IRS agents in Los Angeles, along with a former church member, schemed to plant forged documents. Wonder what Rinder knows about all of this. In the Church of Scientology's files, which the IRS could then seize in a raid. Imagine all the little children that were locked up in rooms getting audited and asked sexual questions while this was going on. At the same time, the suit alleges that there was collusion. Scientology know about that, wouldn't they? Between the IRS Exempt Organizations Branch and Criminal Investigation Division, in which phony tax exemption proceedings were conducted to covertly gather information for the IRS criminal probe. At least they knew how to write then, that's for sure. Additionally, the church maintains that the Los Angeles IRS District Office planned to deny several Scientology churches tax exemption for the express purpose of causing a final halt to and the ultimate disintegration of Scientology. And church lawyers contend that the chief counsel of the IRS attempted to redefine the word church in IRS regulations as one method to attack Scientology. Monday's suit represents the latest chapter in the lengthy battle between the church and the IRS. In the past, the IRS has revoked the tax-exempt status of various Scientology organizations, accusing them of operating in a commercial manner and of financially benefiting private individuals, which is concurred in France, Germany, and Belgium, by the way. And I believe Senator Xenophon in Australia was working on similar declarations. Senator Xenophon seems to be the only man in office that is concerned about the children being essayed in Scientology. But church officials assert that the IRS has violated their rights. Can you imagine this, you guys? The church getting their rights violated. It's unreal. To practice their religion, cult, as guaranteed by the Constitution. Everything that they do to people, it's unbelievable. They contend that the agency also has abridged their right to due process of law. Scientology attorney William T. Drescher said that a victory in the suit would offer all American churches inviolable protection from illegal government intrusions into their religious affairs. May as well just say pedophilia affairs, financial fraud affairs, child abuse affairs, child exploitation affairs. The Reverend, listen to this, you guys. It just makes me want to puke. The Reverend Heber C. Jensch. You guys know what happened to his son, right? Let's go look it up. President of the Church of Scientology International said that Scientology's long history of exposing IRS abuse of power has resulted in prolonged retaliation by the agency. IRS spokesman Robert Giannagelli in Los Angeles said the agency would not comment on the suit. The proper venue for the discussion of the issues will be in the courts, Giannagelli said. Although the suit accuses the IRS of decades of wrongdoing, which they were right, by the way, a principal focus of the case stems from a criminal tax investigation that the agency launched into Hubbard and the church in 1984 and whether it was connected to Scientology's application for tax exemption a year earlier. Among the defendants in the case are Philip Xanthos, branch chief of the IRS Los Angeles Criminal Investigation. Oh, are investigations real nowadays? Seems like investigation seems like just a fancy little word that is thrown out all the time. And Alan Lipkin, a group manager within the division. The suit said the two spearheaded the criminal probe. The investigation included the use of mail covers, paid informants, summonses to dozens of financial institutions and church members, which is legal, by the way, and infiltration of Scientology's ecclesiastical hierarchy. You don't want to mess up a pyramid now, do you? The suit alleges. Furthermore, Scientology contends that a draft copy of a report by Xanthos and Lipkin was improperly given to the exempt organization's branch. The suit alleges that William Conant, then district director of the IRS Los Angeles office, lied to church officials. It's just the audacity. It's unreal. When he told him that the criminal investigation was separate from the exemption application process. This is all fluff. All of it is. In fact, the suit alleges Conant, now the IRS representative in Paris, coordinated collusive actions between the two IRS branches. This sounds so... This is what you get, you guys, with raving psychopathic lunatics. These kinds of terms. And I get, because back then, even back then, France they knew what was up. Scientology learned of the alleged collusion through litigation in which it obtained internal IRS documents released under the Freedom of Information Act, according to the suit. Additionally, the suit contends that 3 IRS agents referred to Scientology religious service as a dog and pony show. They were right. They were absolutely correct, and referred to members of the church as crazy devotees. Correct. While they were interviewing defectors. In addition to money damages, the suit asks that all 17 defendants be permanently enjoined from any and all further participation in and responsibility for any matter involving the IRS and Scientology. Do you believe this, you guys? Evil. Scientology was founded in the 1950s by Hubbard. Me personally, I think there were more people involved. A science fiction writer. I mean, just listen to that. That's mockery. A science fiction writer. You know what I mean? Jensch said, aren't there a lot of people worried about this Jensch guy? And look at what he did. Jensch said that Scientology is an applied religious philosophy. Lies. Which recognizes that man is composed of 3 parts: the spirit, the mind, and the body. A central part of the religion is a process called auditing. Yeah, of course he doesn't mention the children doing that, did he? You see, they cover up. Wherein a minister helps clear parishioners of their problems. Or are the children ministers too? They just lie. People, these agencies knew. It's just sickening. Scientology claims to have a worldwide membership of 8 million. More lies. Jen said it has 1,127 churches and affiliated organizations in 90 countries. Critics of the church have asserted that the actual number of active members is far lower. Yeah, that's what happens with propaganda. Jen said that each church is separately incorporated. Doesn't incorporation sound like a business? However, he said that if the assets of all the churches were combined, we would fit in the Fortune 500. You see the arrogance, you guys? It's so arrogant. And a lot of this money comes from these members that are slaving away, taking out loans on their houses, and they can't even drive decent cars. And then you've got the children that are being heinously abused and then put in further slavery or servitude when they do all these child marriages. Sick. Jensch said that each church is separately incorporated. Okay, I already read that. Scientology's critics claim, and that they love that word too, you know. Scientology's critics claim it is a sham religion, facts, which in reality operates like a business, facts. Defectors charge that Scientology bilked them out of their life savings, facts, and some have recovered damages after suing. Well, how many? Like one? No mention of the children. Background. Over the years, Scientology has brought numerous lawsuits against the IRS, accusing the agency of harassment. It's exactly what Scientology does. Projection. And illegally withholding public records. From the late 1960s through the mid-1970s, the IRS agents classified Scientology as a tax resistor and a subversive, a characterization later deemed improper by a judge. In the late 1970s, 11 Scientologists went to prison. Well, wouldn't you guys love to hear their stories? For burglarizing and bugging the IRS and other federal agencies. I'd love to hear from, if these guys are still around, if they're still alive, I'd love to hear the things they have to say, as well as the spill the tea on Rinder and Rathburn and all of them. So that's it. I will leave a link in the description box. Like and subscribe if you choose. Otherwise, have an amazing day or night wherever you are. Peace.